Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Alucard. Oh my god! Jesus! Holy shit!
Blood, you disgusting monster.
Hey yo! Whoa! Hold up.
Blackcrosses, 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 crosses, Blackcrosses, team nauseous, team nauseous.
I know about Alucard, but I barely know anything about Dio except JoJo's Universe is OP. Oh no, he is OP. Both these characters are extremely OP. That's why it's gonna be a good fight.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering? You can get.
Skip that. All right.
Dio Brando, everlasting adversary of the Joestar bloodline. Alucard, undying enforcer of the Helsing organization.
Get comfortable.
Vampires, the spawn of nightmares formed from the blackest pits of man's demented imagination. Anime, basically the same thing. What do you get when you combine them? Two of the meanest monsters out there. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I ain't gonna lie though, this is kind of convoluted because Dio and Alucard both can't die. Well, Dio can die, but the sun has to be out, type of shit. Like the only thing I can really kill him is the sun. So that's about it. But you know, we'll see.
Imagine, if you can, someone so wicked that the sheer magnitude of their unholy.
That's actually educated on why you can shit on
universe.
You might think
Alucard.
they'd have to be no less than the devil himself, but it was him, Dio.
Oh god.
Born a penniless street rat with a
That Alucard in the beginning we had was ass.
London, Dio was humiliated by his poverty and abused by his alcoholic father.
His bitter resentment and small dick energy would lead to a lifelong
Small dick
desire for
energy.
ultimate power and immortality to reach a place over heaven.
And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy Joestar family. Dio planned to kill his new father, George Joestar, and take his fortune for himself. Only one thing stood in his way: his new brother, Jonathan Joestar, aka Jojo.
Dio tried to go all alpha wolf on Jojo by engaging in such classic sibling pranks as beating him up, molesting his girlfriend, and setting his dog on fire. Jesus! You give that creepy dog murderer what for, Jojo?
Jesus.
But after years of emotional manipulation, Dio's twisted assassination plot was.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, bro. Dio was literally that nigga legit had Black Air Force energy, bro. From the beginning, bro. From the beginning of the show to up to like part 3, like that nigga had Black Air Force energy, bro. For just no reason. Nigga was just a menace.
Foiled by his righteous stepbrother.
With help from the interfering speedwagon.
This guy had Mugen.
Seemed like
Yeah.
Until Dio pulled out his
What's your Mickey Mouse win?
Stone mask that turned him into a vampire. That's just bizarre.
Okay, so he's not technically a vampire like, say, Dracula. Instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations.
Making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance.
It gets weirder. Dio can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair.
Super strength, speed, durability, enhanced senses, blood sucking, regeneration, vaporization, freezing technique, space vapor, stingy eyes, flesh buds, hypnosis, flight.
Follicles vaporize the moisture in his
Dio's the shit made to be OP.
and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky.
Pressurized fluids? Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is Dio's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times.
Another similar vampire, Straight, survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
All Dio needs is some blood to speed up the process, so he is basically a vampire. Though I guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers. Ugh.
Dio
Jesus
used
Christ.
his powers to raise a zombie army to conquer the world and feed a baby to its own mother. just for kicks.
What the fuck?
Real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz, but I'm starting to think Dio takes...
Wait, why do I not remember that happening? I don't remember that happening.
Conquer the world and feed a baby to its own mother. Just for kicks.
Yo, this show is dark.
Real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz, but I'm starting to think Dio takes the cake. Luckily,
Black Battle, yes sir, Yashiro.
again by his old frenemy JoJo, who beat Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the sun, Hamon.
Because should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly disintegrate.
I ain't gonna lie to you, one thing I can for sure say that I did not like about the newer parts of JoJo, like after part 2, I hated how they basically just kind of forgot about Hamon, and they made stands like the whole new power or whatever. That was one thing I did not like. I did not like that they did that. I don't know why. It just felt kind of random, just a random thing. Hamon was easier to explain. It was so much easier to explain that Hamon, and then stands. They just yeah. You just wake up one morning and you got to stand. It's so. I just didn't like that, bro. I don't know. Could Joseph stay using? Yeah, bro. Jonathan and Joseph were the ones who were using Hamon. Everybody after that stands this and stand that. It's that's the one thing about JoJo I hated, bro. The direction it kind of just turned. I wasn't really fucking with that. You ever got into it? I don't blame you. All the parts are just different, but it depends. It depends how you feel about it. Some of the parts are just very repetitive. Others are just really, really good. There's some repetition, but it's just, it's a little bit easier to get into the story. So this Death Battle made me want to watch JoJo. You should, bro. You should. I say give it a chance. Honestly.
So what did Dio do?
Give it a
He
chance.
cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to JoJo's body. Wow, cake taken for sure.
After a brief century in a coffin at the bottom of the ocean, Dio resurfaced in Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate goal was to create a world where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to eat.
After being struck by a mystical arrow, sure, why not, Dio gained a stand, the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Ow. Hey,
Bro.
Look, Wiz, I got a stand. I got it. 99 bottles.
Nigga.
Oh, shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your transmog... Ooh, look, a giant beer.
That's kind of a pause right there. So this man really just drank. He just drank his best friend basically. He just drank his best friend. His man's okay. Chat, would y'all want to stand? If y'all had that little golden arrow or whatever, would y'all poke yourself with it, just get a stand? That's crazy. I wonder what stand I would have, bro. That's crazy. There are a lot of stands that could be very OP. I've seen some pretty, watching JoJo, I've seen some very OP stands. And it is crazy. Aside from the world and Start Platinum, shit. Well, then there's Diavolo's stand. His is actually, nah. Okay, Diavolo's, and then there's Giorno's stand. Bro, all them niggas had some broken stands. I don't know how that's possible. Bro, I can't. Bro, when does Part 6 come out? Part 6 comes out. Doesn't it drop in December or something like that? Y'all remember when that shit drops? December. I'm watching that when it drops. Best believe.
As befits a god among men, Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history. The world.
Zawada!
Time, huh? Thanks for the... Ow! Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
The world is absurdly strong and fast, able to match the stand Star Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo. He technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same stand.
And both are two of the strongest stands out
Oh.
there. Just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
Of 441 kilotons of TNT.
Not that crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own, and taken its punches head on.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to Dio's secret weapon, the greatest weapon in anime history.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh shit! I'm getting flashbacks. I'm getting flashbacks. Bruh, this nigga in Mugen is so busted. Holy shit. That is literally the most toxic special I've ever seen in my life, bro. Nigga just gets a steamroller, it just drops on the man. Like, what the fuck? That shit is mad toxic.
Steamroller! Turns out Dio's a hell of a chef. He can make pancakes and donuts.
Even so, despite having a massive god complex, Dio's still a careful tactician capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he wasn't prepared for Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. That's some hardcore karma right there. But it only makes sense that a dog murderer would die like a bitch.
But much like the machinations of great and terrible men, Dio's will was immortal. In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the...
Let's go back. Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Hi, Dio! How blessed are some...
I didn't see anything. I don't know what happened. Didn't see anything. Didn't see
No
anything.
dreads. For though the world seems full of good men, there are monsters in it.
But don't worry, jolly old England has it covered with the Helsing organization.
Founded by famous vampire hunter Abraham Van Helsing,
Charles
and led
Blaze
by
copy
his
stands?
Integra, this secret government institution
Really?
has saved the world time and
Oh,
again
that's
with
why
their
he's able
secret weapon.
to
And what
to the
better
world
weapon
and
to
shit.
hunt
Okay. That
vampires
makes
than
sense.
with one of their very own, the no-life king, the bird of Hermes, Alucard.
Alucard.
Much, his origin was shrouded in mystery, but under Helsing's employ,
Wait, this is his full name? Vlad the Third Dracula? Wait, Alucard, that's Alucard's actual name? He's 6'3"? That nigga over here dunking on people and shit? Kill count millions. Holy shit. Was a little girl during World War II. What's that last one? What is this last one even? What do you mean a little girl? I thought Alucard was I thought he was a dude. Alucard killed Season 1 Naruto, Sasuke, Luffy, Ichigo, Baby Goku. Yeah, this thing's OP.
he was molded into an elite hunter, made even more vicious by his intense hatred of his fellow vampire kind.
A hatred that he expresses with two of the gnarliest handguns you'll ever pray to your infinite god to never see in person.
Alucard's primary sidearm is the Castle, a behemoth of a handgun able to kill most undead in one shot with holy bullets that can nullify a vampire's healing factor.
The Jackal is the handgun she told you not to worry about. 16 inches long and weighing 35 pounds. Its armor-piercing, hollow-point bullets, jacketed in blessed Macedonian silver, were built to annihilate the toughest monsters.
And after decades of clandestine experimentation, Helsing enhanced Alucard's vampiric abilities far beyond the norm.
Alucard can walk through walls, cast illusions, levitate, and move objects with his mind. Objects like, say, an ocean of over 3 million people's blood? That'd
What
be an
the
energy worth half
fuck?
a ton of TNT.
His psychic prowess allows him to read minds, communicate telepathically, hypnotize with a glance, and see through hallucinations with his third eye.
He's not a Triclops. It's more of a sixth sense that lets him hit bullseyes from a kilometer away and even predict your movements. Kinda like the Sharon gun.
Of course, he wouldn't be a real vampire if he couldn't drink blood. The catch is, when he drinks enough blood to kill you,
Ugh.
he literally absorbs your soul. And that right there is the source of his most fearsome ability.
You
What
just
the
can't kill the
fuck?
sumbitch. Shoot him into Swiss cheese, blow his ass to smithereens, turn him into a literal blood puddle, he'll just regenerate his body lickety-split, like we've seen some...
What the fuck? You know what's crazy? I have to watch Hellsing Ultimate again, bro. I watched it before, but I think I'm about to watch it again. This show is actually very fire. Very gruesome, but actually very fire. Now that I remember it. I would love to watch it on stream, but it's extremely gruesome. It's definitely TOS. I don't know I'd be able to show that shit on stream. Maybe for like a movie night or anime night one of these days. I'll probably watch it again or something like that. But yeah, this dude's OP. Sucking blood, regenerating, shapeshifting, intangibility, a third eye, love beam, telepathy, telekinesis, illusions, immortality. Damn! Yeah, he got a whole fucking resume right here. Shit. Anime night? Hell yeah, maybe. Made for me in Discord. Watch like I do anime night in Discord one of these days. I gotta see what's going on.
Some overpowered healing factors on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit.
While he does possess blood and organs like a regular human, Alucard's body is, in reality, composed of an ethereal, shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound, and each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally injured. Kind of like a video game.
And after 500 years of unlife, Alucard has
Fucking demon
consumed
souls.
literally millions of souls. Ora! Yay, more beer!
Just like me.
Ora! Helsing needed a beast as fearsome as Alucard to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like evil squared.
Like when Millennium SS Lieutenant Rip Van Winkle commandeered a British aircraft carrier as part of an invasion of London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknifed it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it's struck with a kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the US Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
AKA
Damn.
the mother of all bombs, and Al was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic bullets. Comparing the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
And Alucard caught one with his friggin' teeth. And
How the
after
fuck?
giving Rip's name a new meaning, he drove that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind to fight two separate armies at the same time. What a goddamn monster!
It goes without saying that Alucard's immense power and bloodlust needed to be controlled, so 6 restriction levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there exists an even greater state of power Alucard can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Once activated, Level 0
Bro,
releases
what?
every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies. All 3 million of them.
Sure, with his souls gone, he can't heal as easily, and if his heart is destroyed, he'll die permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable. This guy's got to be like the king of all
Yo.
vampires.
Indeed, he is. Helsing purposely kept Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards is
Dracula?
Oh, how did I not realize that? I never realized that. What the fuck? How did I not even realize that shit? I'm like, Alucard, that's a really cool name. Nigga, that's Dracula backwards. Wow. Fucking wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, duh, Wiz, idiot.
Over 500 years ago, the Wallachian voivode Vlad Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe, and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things didn't end up too
Pause.
good for him. Right before his execution, he took a big
Vlad
old
the
sip of some
Impaler.
blood from the battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew to despise his monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice.
Was he crushed Millennium in the 8th and 9th Crusade? Shredded Alhambras, playing cards telekinetically with the Sea of Blood. Caught Rip's hypersonic warhead and survived crashing an SR-71 Blackbird. Tank being thrown through buildings. Returned from limbo after 30 years. Defeated Alhambra, Rip Anderson, and Walter.
The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's deep, Wiz. Maybe that's why he always lets his enemies rip into him like a piñata of self-loathing. His crazy OP healing factor will fix everything anyways.
Millennium will exploit this arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrödinger, a German cat boy who controls his own quantum state. This grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist everywhere and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al
Wait,
had
what?
2 million souls kicking around inside him, Schrödi couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how spoopy the threat, Alucard will show no mercy. He's just waiting for the day he meets a noble human warrior strong enough to end his unlife for good.
But should he face a fellow monster, a
What?
fool who rejected their humanity like himself, he'll let loose the dogs of war, and all hell will sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
Yo.
All right, the combatants.
This fight's gonna be crazy.
All possibilities.
This fight's gonna be fucking crazy.
The same kind of confidence that
I have a theory about Jotaro's stand ability. I think he can copy one stand ability and use that as his own, making a stand ability that he copies, making his own. Like that was ability to Jotaro saying, "Hey, man, this more quickly stops time, starts the world." I mean, you could have a point, but then again, why? How come he didn't just do that to like all the others? I mean, because I mean, he's only done that with Dio. He's only copied Dio's own ability. But after that, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure in part 4 he's fought like people before. How come he's never copied their own stand ability? He doesn't know his ability. I guess that makes sense.
lets you try to take over the world with a zombie army. First off, interesting. Secondly,
No, you know what I want to see though, bro. So obviously that arrow, it brings out like it basically brings out people like stand users. Like, it brings like the best out of their stand or whatever. I want to see like how that would affect people like Jotaro, Josuke, fucking Joseph is probably all time dead already. Like I want to see what that would do to their stands. I mean, see how like strong it would make them, bro. That should be so fire. Niggas were erased from existence and came back to the void. I don't want to hear nothing about Alucard being weak. Hey, look, he's only weak in Mugen. Alucard's only weak in Mugen. Just know that he's only an F tier in Mugen. I don't know why they made him so bad. That was a poorly made character. Maybe I don't know if he's in the current one we have right now. But if he is, I hope he's that OP.
You interrupted my dinner.
Funny, I was just thinking about having mine.
Then by all means, take a bite.
So I lie to you, that was probably single-handedly the gayest intro I ever seen to a death battle. That shit was very, very sussy. Oh my god!
Checkmate! How oh so very weak, dog. You thought you'd triumph, but it was I!
Dio! Jesus!
I'm a dog. Yo, dog food.
Holy shit! Yo! Oh my god, here we go again! Here we fucking go again. Here we go again with this bullshit. Oh my god. Even if it's not in Mugen, he does it in a death battle, guys. Oh.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Shogun.
Hey, yo! Whoa! Hold up. Yo, Dio, hey, Dio, I know I use, nah, something about you, bro. It's something about you, bro. Hey.
On blood, you disgusting monster. Show's on your own.
I want to rule the world! Face me, Vampire King! Bow to your new god!
The bird of Hermes is my name. Eating my wings to make me tame.
Useless, useless, useless. Muda! Muda, muda! Muda, 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 muda!
Wait, huh? Let me get this straight. Maybe that happened because he used the whole blood thing, the whole blood scene that left him like, you know, his heart exposed or some shit like that. And I'm gonna just assume that's what it was. But like, bro, he can literally regenerate still after that. So it's whatever, bro.
KO! Alucard pulled out all the stops, but like the bloody drink, it was in vain. Finger gun.
Wait,
But like
what's he saying?
KO! Alucard pulled out all the stops, but like the bloody drink, it was in vain. Finger guns.
He may have been the king of the vampires in Hellsing, but Dio had everything he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings, and Alucard wasn't nearly as strong or as fast to compensate.
Alucard could survive crashing that jet and move 1,500 times faster.
What was this? While Dio's healing factor was inferior to Alucard's, it was still potent enough to heal from any of Alucard's attacks, especially with Alucard's blood always available to drink. I would say, it just kind of makes sense because he does have the world and he literally can freeze time. So, I guess. But then again, Alucard can't even die until all his souls are gone. But then he has like millions of souls in his body, so how the fuck is he even dead though? Blood makes Dio stronger.
Faster than sound. But scaling from Stone Free and Silver Chariot, the world could punch relativistic meteors and move 1,500 times faster than light. That would make Dio nearly 40,000 times stronger and 800,000 times faster than Alucard.
Hell, Alucard couldn't even see or hurt the world in the first place because he's not a stand user. And since stone mask vampires from JoJo aren't weak to holy weapons like Hellsing vampires are, Al's guns were more or less dead weight.
Plus,
Jack will nullify Anderson's healing factor by doing more damage that he could from Dio's durability and regeneration are far better and would heal easily from the Jack.
Alucard just had no way to get past the time stop. Even if he did somehow, Dio could just freeze him on contact.
And considering Dio is taking
His
punches
heart
from
sword and
Star
rolls
Platinum,
heroes, he's
Hell
dead.
would have had trouble doing damage even if he
They did say that too.
Dio's far greater speed and power meant that, given a
Sorry, I read these little captions. Stands are capable of interacting with intangible objects. When Silver Chariot blocking the attack from the shadow stand. sequence. So Alucard's intangibility would not protect
Enough
him.
time, he could realistically kill Alucard 3 million times in quick succession.
Alucard would not know that Dio is weak to the sunlight and would not think to exploit that. Even if the fight lasted until the sun came up, Dio would simply hide until nightfall. Man,
Without any viable options for attack,
fuck all that
or
technicality
openings to exploit,
bullshit.
Alucard's soul-based regeneration meant he would run out of lives eventually, and level 0 only sped up that process.
Despite the numbers, the vast majority of Alucard's familiars are physically human and would be unable to overcome Dio's durability, let alone withstand time stop, freezing, or speed.
Sure, that army's nothing to scoff at, but consider the time Dio's eye beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating the size of the clouds and the speed at which they moved, Dio's
That is kinda
beams
true.
must have output an energy of over 10 megatons of TNT, enough to wipe out Alucard's army in one go, leaving him vulnerable. Just like when this other vampire, Walter, could have killed him by piercing his heart. Alucard's even admitted it himself.
Hell, Alucard's army is
While Dio would not know how to target Alucard's heart specifically, he wouldn't need to. His blows are powerful enough to destroy Alucard's entire body, especially at a stand rush.
filled with blood. You know, that thing that Dio uses to heal? But Wiz, what about Schrodinger? With his powers, Al can't die unless he chooses to.
While Schrodinger's quantum immortality makes him impossible to kill normally, it is literally part of the story that Alucard cannot have Schrodinger's abilities and his greater array of powers at the same time, or else he'll no longer exist. We can't give him both Schrodinger and his standard powers without breaking the lore and rules of the character.
Even if we did, it doesn't really matter.
Dio's a crafty strategic fighter because a fight with Alucard would be a stalemate. Given enough time, he would come up with a plan like this eventually.
It doesn't help him kill Dio at all, so at best it'd be a stalemate. Until Dio hypnotizes Alucard, asks him about his powers, and forces him to eject Schrody like the rest of his souls.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got Dioned!
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
That's right, and you're just gonna have to Dio with it. And hey, wait a minute, that was a pun. That's my territory. We talked about this.
The winner is Dio.
Thank you guys so much for watching the show. We really hope you enjoyed that episode of Death Battle.
Wow.
If you're looking for something else to watch right
Wow. Oh, that's a cool video. That was nice. And you see Journal in one of these. Who would be like a good partner for Journal to fight? Wait, hold on. Let's see who's next to the
right now, just click the box on the screen and check out Red vs. Blue Family Shatters, where the Red vs. Blue Zero crew gets up to all sorts of wacky antics. It's really fun. A lot of people who worked on Death Battle also worked on this show, so give it a watch. Thanks.
Akuma versus Shao Kahn. Wow, that's actually gonna be, that might be a pretty good one too. That might be kind of cool. I feel like in general the fight would have lasted a long ass time. This wouldn't be like a quick fight. It'd be like a long ass fight because they both can't die until like the sun comes up.